Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Good evening. Yes, hello. Hi, welcome on in. Good to see you. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. Hello. Yes, good afternoon. Yes, we're back again. Hello from New York. Oh, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, you caught me this time. You caught me this time, Frank. Yay. Yes, indeed. Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Good to see you. I'm in my corner again, so hopefully everything will still go okay. So let me know. Yes, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Yes, I am. Hello, Marilyn. Good to see you. Oh, yes, the work, Frank. Oh, we hate the work. Yes, got the candy corn tonight. We only got a couple more days left before Halloween, so have to celebrate that. He said go. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, we love it. Yes, hello. Oh, from New York. Yes, can you tell me where you get your nails in the brand? They're just, most of them are just regular press-on nails. So I just get them around here and there, and I've picked them up over the years. I think this particular Halloween set is, let me look and see, what do I have? Let me double check here. Okay, so yes, the candy corn. So I have this set for Thanksgiving. So this is the brand that I have. One of them. I just grab all kinds, but this is the same brand for the candy corn ones. So I have fun. I have fun with them. Yes, I have lots. They're really fun for me. I just kind of, if I see any, I just grab them. So it's just for fun. Oh my goodness. Hello from Rhode Island. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome on in, everybody. Good to see you. Yep, just getting started. Hello from Florida. Hello. Yes, I've got some fun Christmas ones actually that I'm looking forward to using. Wintry, Christmassy ones, so those will be fun. They stay on for me fine, but I need removable ones I can take off because I do play guitar. So for me, I take them off and remove the glue, and then I just reuse them later. So that just works for me. That's how I like to do it. I should be probably more dedicated to my nails, but if I feel like, yes, I can't play guitar with long nails. I just can't. I haven't been able to do that. So I just take them off and go play and then put another set on whenever I'm ready. So for me, that's just fun. Yes, we have the Menendez indictment tonight, everybody. I'd been meaning to get to it, and I had been running out of time. Or cut vegetables. True story, Frank. True story. You got to be careful when you're cutting vegetables, for sure. Yes, I have several different kinds of glue that I use. So, just depending on what's going on. Use them for a pick. I don't use a pick because I play classical guitar, so I just pluck with my fingers. I'm afraid a pick would hurt my guitar. Isn't that weird? I know it's weird, but yes, for sure. I do enjoy playing, so I just can't give it up. Can't give it up. You gonna play guitar for us? I don't know. I'm pretty shy. I'm pretty shy about that. We'll see. Maybe someday. Maybe. Maybe someday. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm pretty shy. Yes, my mother played guitar when I was little, and when I got into law school, I was so stressed out. So she taught me to play guitar in law school. So it was one of the ways that I made it through. I'm very thankful. Oh, Irish and Scottish music. Oh, I love it. Oh, well, a guitar set. I just don't know. I don't know. to see. Maybe sometime, but we will see. We'll see. Yes, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful she did teach me. So, oh, you love jazz. That's wonderful. My grandpa owned a jazz club in Texas, which is where he met my grandmother. So we are huge jazz people here. Love that. Yes, nylon string guitar. Yes, it's pretty old. I mean, it's an old classical guitar. So I'm kind of a old school, kind of bluegrassy folks kind of music. So yeah, I just do a lot of folk music and a lot of those. So I'm just pretty old school, I guess. I'm okay with that. I'm all right being old school. Very old school. Yes, six-string orchestra. Oh, that's so funny. Yes, I don't like to use picks on my guitar, Jan. I learned just how to finger pluck, and ever since then, I just don't use picks. I probably should. And when I play electric, I do use a pick, of course, but when I want. But usually with the classical, I don't use a pick at all. I'm just very protective of it. So, oh, you had homework. I hope you got it all done. Hopefully everything got done. Hello, Vicky. Hello. Good to see you. Yes, Jan. Yes. Yes. I know. It's all good fun. It's good fun. But I do play guitar, so I need to have my nails pretty easily removable. Heavy death metal? Oh, I don't know. More like Eagles? Is that death metal? I don't know. I will be the first to say I'm a bit of a dork. But no, I'm yes. Oh, from Australia. Yes. No, yeah, the Eagles. Not close. No, sorry about that. I do, I'm more of a classic, I guess. I've said too much, everybody. I've said too much. Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, Led Zeppelin's one of my favorite groups. And actually that's, if you have a couple song, one of our couple song is a Led Zeppelin song. So we're pretty into the classics here. Yes. Yeah. Oh, Hotel California. Of course. We love that. Have I been drinking? Oh, I wish. No, nope. I haven't. Nope. Just, having a good time. Yes. Hawk is the heavy metal. Yes, I agree. He's got some heavy metal going on there. Oh, yes. See, and my partner in crime's a drummer too. So he is all about that. We're all about the, we've got our drum kit set up and all kinds of good stuff. So yes, well, Stairway to Heaven, I think, is a lot of people's song. What do you like to drink when you do? Well, I do drink responsibly, of course, but I admit I love rum. I'm all about rum. It's rum and rum again. That's my personal choice for responsibly consuming and legally. But that's my personal favorite. Oh, Rush is amazing, Navy Vet. Yeah, we went out to see, we've seen Rush in concert, and I mean, it's just amazing. There is no, I mean, when it comes to drumming, that's really it. You've gotta have, what happened to Jack Daniels? Yes, so Jack and Coke would be my other one, of course. Greg, that's so crazy that you remember that. I do like Jack Daniels. Jack and Coke was kind of my drink that I switched to whenever I went out drinking with other attorneys. So always went with a Jack and Coke. Did switch to Captain Morgan and Coke, but then got rid of the Coke. Because who needs the Coke, right? Oh, really? Gag order just reinstated. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to take a look at that. I'll have to take a look for sure. Yeah, that's, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot. Oh, the spicy captain. Yeah, I like to go sailing with the captain sometimes. It's fun. But only responsibly and legally. Yes, JD on the rocks. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's usually my New Year's drink. I enjoy. Really? I'm excited about that. I'll have to take a look at that. Honey Jack Daniels. Oh, love that. We'll have to try that for sure. Yeah, I like a little something sweet, so I don't. I had a Di Serrano situation going on in 2020, so I had to take a little break from that. But yes, I definitely love the rum. All right, so Nadine Menendez is Mr. Robert Menendez's wife. So we've got that peanut butter whiskey. What? Oh my gosh. Wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah, no, Mr. Tequila and I had a bad night together, so we can never we can never get together again. We're over. That was it. Ooh, a hard cider. Absolutely love cider. Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely. Yes. So Mr. Tequila and I are not on speaking terms. Well, yeah, I think he has several enemies. I think he doesn't get along well with everyone, although he's a cool fella. He's just not for me. Oh, my goodness. Yes, yes. Well, welcome on in, everybody. Welcome. Welcome on in. So tonight, good to see everybody. Tonight will be the Menendez indictment. Now, I'm going to try to get through the indictment as much as I possibly can tonight. No friend of yours any longer. Well, I mean, he's not for everyone. But this is so fascinating, this situation, because we have a congressman here who has been accused of taking bribes, of fraud, of conspiracy. There's gold bars involved. There's all kinds of stuff. So it has the makings of a full movie involving Egypt and gold bars. So it's a very interesting case. He's a senator. Yep, that's right. Now, I believe he's a senator out of New Jersey. Is that right? I think that was what I understood it to be. So, this superseding indictment had just come down. There was an original indictment. Superseding had added a few extra charges to it. Okay, yes. Yes, it's in the first sentence. Oh, well, great. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. I'll be. All right. Woohoo. So, a Democrat. Okay. So he was charged originally with a few counts, and then a few more counts were added. So the superseding indictment, includes the original indictment as well. So to go through the whole indictment, we'll go through the whole thing tonight with the superseding. It covers everything. So his daughter's a host on MSNBC. Oh, interesting. So these are felonies that he and his wife have been charged with here. So it's pretty significant. He's looking at multiple 20-year sentences if convicted. Now, again, I always do my disclaimer that an indictment is not a finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. An indictment is finding of probable cause that particular people committed particular offenses. So we will go through what he has been charged with here. So we've got Robert Menendez, and then we have Nadine, his wife, here, and we have several different names. So Nadine is also known as Nadine Arslanian, and then Wilhana has also been charged. Jose Uribe, I don't know, I'm terrible. And then Fred Davis. So we have 5 total defendants named here. So all of these people are all involved in lots of things that were going on with foreign nationals and lots of very interesting situations. So we will dive right in here. Yeah, and then Fred. So you have everybody and then Fred. Uribe. Okay, thank you. I won't remember, but I appreciate you telling me. Uribe. All right, everybody. So I do have a sticky note. After I flip the page, I will add it on. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Here is our overview. So Robert Menendez, the defendant, is the senior U.S. Senator from the state of New Jersey from at least 2018 up to and including in or about 2022. Menendez and his wife, Nadine, the defendant, engaged in a corrupt relationship with 3 New Jersey associates and businessmen. Hannah here, Uribe and Davis, the defendants, in which Menendez and Nadine agreed to and did accept hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes in exchange for using Menendez's power and influence as a senator to seek to protect and enrich Hannah, Uribe, and Davis, and to benefit the Arab Republic of Egypt. Those bribes included cash, gold, payments towards a home mortgage, compensation for a low or no-show job, a luxury vehicle, and other things of value. The corrupt relationship resulted in Menendez, the defendant, promising to take and taking a series of official acts and breaches of official duty in exchange for bribes that benefited him both directly and indirectly through Nadine, the defendant. Among other things, first, Menendez promised to and did, so we're just getting started with the bribes here, use his influence and power and breach his official duty in ways that benefited the government of Egypt. Hannah, the defendant, an Egyptian-American businessman, among others. Among other actions, Menendez provided sensitive U.S. government information and took other steps that secretly aided the government of Egypt. Menendez was improperly advised and pressured an official at the U.S. Department of Agriculture for the purpose of protecting a business monopoly granted to Hannah by Egypt and used in part to fund the bribes being paid to Menendez through Nadine. Second, Menendez promised to and did use his influence and power and breach his official duty to seek to disrupt a criminal investigation and prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to Jose Uribe, the defendant, and his associates. Third, Menendez promised to and did use his influence and power to breach his official duty to recommend that the president nominate an individual as U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey who Menendez believed could be influenced by Menendez with respect to the federal criminal prosecution of Fred Davis, the defendant, and to seek to disrupt that same prosecution. Robert Menendez, the defendant, further promised to take and took a series of acts on behalf of Egypt, including on behalf of an Egyptian military and intelligence officers or officials, and conspired to do so with Hannah and Nadine, the defendants, who also communicated requests and directives from Egyptian officers or officials to Menendez. In or about June of 2022, federal agents executed search warrants on the New Jersey home and safe deposit box of Robert and Nadine. In conducting these court-authorized searches, agents found certain of the fruits of Menendez's and Nadine's corrupt bribery agreement. So we call evidence fruit because we're ridiculous. Just keep that in mind. So corrupt bribery agreement with Hannah, Uribe, and Davis, the defendants, including cash, gold, the luxury vehicle, and home furnishings. Over $480,000 in cash, much of it stuffed in envelopes and hidden in clothing, closets, and a safe, was discovered in the home, along with over $70,000 in Nadine's deposit box, the safety deposit box. Some of the envelopes contained the fingerprints and or DNA of Davies or his driver. Other of the envelopes were found inside jackets bearing Menendez's name and hanging in his closet as depicted below. So here's a jacket and here's stacks and stacks of cash. What are we doing here? Come on, people. Oh my goodness. So that was found. During the same court-authorized search of the home, agents also found home furnishings provided by Hannah and Davis, the luxury vehicle paid for by Uribe, parked in the garage, as well as over $100,000 worth of gold bars in the home. Like, how are you going to get the cash out of the gold bars? Like, who are you selling gold bars to? Sorry, side note. Which were provided by either Hannah or Davis. Two of the gold bars Davies provided are depicted in the photographs below. In the pinstripe suit, Yikes. All right, so here are the gold bars. Good grief. Gold bars. This is ridiculous. Relevant individuals: Senator Robert Menendez and wife Nadine Menendez, also known as Nadine Arslanian. Menendez is the senior U.S. Senator from the state of New Jersey. Menendez served as mayor of Union City, New Jersey, and a member of the New Jersey State Legislature until 1993, when he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, representing a New Jersey district. Menendez was appointed to the U.S. Senate in 2006, subsequently elected in 2006, and re-elected in 2012 and 2018. At all times relevant to this indictment, Menendez held a leadership position on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, first as the ranking member and then chairman, and therefore possessed influence over, among other things, the executive branch's decision to provide foreign military sales, foreign military financing, and other aid or support to or for the benefit of the government of Egypt. By virtue of his position as the senior U.S. Senator from the state of New Jersey, at all times relevant to this indictment, Menendez had the ability to recommend to the president that a particular individual be nominated to serve as the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey. At all times relevant to this indictment, the official public website for Menendez's Senate office stated that his office could not make certain actions, including actions to influence private business matters and actions to intervene with judicial issues in criminal trials, as detailed in the below excerpt from the website. Our office cannot, in giant letters, compel an agency to act in your favor or expedite your case, overturn or influence matters involving private businesses, intervene with judicial issues, provide legal advice, or recommend an attorney. Our Senate office cannot legally get involved with pending litigation, including questions about criminal trials or imprisonment, child custody issues, and civil lawsuits. My office cannot overturn or in any way influence a court's decision. So this is from his website. Nadine began dating Robert, the defendant, in or about February of 2018. They became engaged in or about early October 2019 and married in or about October 2020. Before Nadine began dating Menendez, she was unemployed. Beginning in or about 2018, Nadine had meetings and direct communications with multiple Egyptian office officials, at least some of whom, I have a fly in here, at least some of whom she understood were intelligence officials, and received requests from them and conveyed information and requests from them to Menendez. Hi. The three New Jersey businessmen. All right, so already I've got questions about Nadine here. Sounds like she's only been involved for a few years. At all times relevant to this indictment, Hannah, the defendant, who was originally from Egypt, resided principally in New Jersey and maintained close connections with Egyptian officials. Hannah and Nadine were friends for many years before she began dating Robert Menendez, the defendant. A court-authorized search in or about November of 2019 of a cell phone Hannah used revealed thousands of text messages between Hannah and Nadine, many of which Nadine deleted from her own cell phone. That search also revealed thousands of text messages, many via an encrypted application with Egyptian military and intelligence officials. Yikes, that's bad. Pertaining to various topics, including Menendez, and including requests and directives for Hannah to act upon. Yikes. Jose Uribe, the defendant, is a businessman who resides in New Jersey and works in the trucking and insurance business. After having previously been convicted of fraud and having his insurance broker's license revoked, Uribe is a business associate and friend of Hannah. Uribe developed a relationship with Robert Menendez and Nadine, and Hannah connected them in or about 2018. Fred Davies, the defendant, in a New Jersey real estate developer, a founder of the New Jersey-based bank and business associate of Hana. On or about August 30th of 2018, Davies was charged by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey with obtaining loans under false pretenses from the bank. Davies was a longtime fundraiser for Robert Menendez, the defendant. Relevant statutory background on FARA. The Foreign Agents Registration Act is a federal registration and disclosure statute that requires any person agreeing to act or acting in the United States as an agent of a foreign principal to register with the United States Attorney General if he or she agrees to engage or engages directly or through another person in certain types of conduct, such as political activities, political consulting, public relations, or publicity activities for or in the interest of a foreign principal. Such registrations are made to the National Security Division's Foreign Affairs Registration Act unit within the U.S. Department of Justice. My goodness. The purpose of FARA is to prevent covert influence by foreign principals. Proper registration under this statute allows the United States government and the American people to evaluate the statements and activities of individuals who are serving as agents of foreign principals in light of their status as foreign agents. Among other things, a FARA registration, which is publicly available, reveals the identity of the foreign principal on whose behalf a registrant performs services, the type of services the registrant performs, the foreign principal, the source and amount of compensation the registrant receives from the foreign principal, and any political campaign contributions made by the registrant while the registrant was acting as an agent of the foreign principal. Public officials, including members of Congress, are prohibited by law from agreeing to be or acting as an agent of a foreign principal required to register under FARA. At all times relevant to this indictment, the Senate Ethics Manual, which was publicly available, stated, among other things, regardless of compensation, a public official may not act as an agent or attorney for a foreign principal required to register under the Foreign Agents Registration Act of 1938. As amended, that is, generally, those individuals engaged in lobbying, political or propaganda activities on behalf of foreign governments or political parties, citing Title 18 U.S. Code Section 219. Okay, so you're not allowed to work for a foreign nation here if you are a congressperson. Menendez's public statements about FARA and Nadine and Hana's failure to register. Between at least approximately 2020 and 2022, Robert made multiple requests for the U.S. Department of Justice to commence an investigation against another person for allegedly failing to register under FARA. In particular, on or about May 18th of 2020, Menendez sent a letter to the then head of the National Security. Why would he do that? Oh dear. I think he may have done this to himself. Division, asking the Department of Justice to investigate another individual who had previously served as a member of Congress for allegedly failing to register as a foreign agent. In that letter, Menendez stated, "The act is clear that acting directly or indirectly in any capacity on behalf of a foreign principal triggers the requirement to register under FARA." Moreover, on or about May 4th of 2022, Menendez sent a second letter to the U.S. Attorney General reiterating his request that the former member of Congress be investigated for allegedly failing to register as a foreign agent. In the second letter, Menendez stated, "If the former member of Congress carried out work that requires registration under FARA, it is imperative that the Justice Department ensure he is held to account." The first of these letters was posted on the official public website for Menendez's Senate office and the official public website for the SFRC, and the second of these letters was posted on the official public website for the SFRC. Okay. So it looks like he was trying to get another person called out. As a public official, Robert Menendez, the defendant, was prohibited from serving as a foreign agent. Nadine and Hana, have never registered as foreign agents or lobbyists. Menendez agrees to take action that benefit Egypt and Hana in exchange for promises of things of value. That's a great question. Who was he calling out, Sonny? I don't know. We just have some former member of Congress is the person, but we don't know who it was. In or about early 2018, Nadine informed Hana, the defendant, that she was dating Robert, the defendant. In the following months and years, Hana and Nadine worked to introduce Egyptian intelligence and military officials to Menendez for the purpose of establishing and solidifying a corrupt agreement in which Hana, with the assistance of Fred and Jose, provided hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes to Menendez and Nadine in exchange for Menendez's acts and breaches of duty to benefit the government of Egypt, Hana, and others, including with respect to foreign military sales and foreign military financing. That's really bad. Background on foreign military sales and foreign military financing. At all times relevant to this indictment, Egypt was among the largest recipients in the world of U.S. military aid. Between approximately 2018 and approximately 2022, the U.S. government supplied substantial military aid to Egypt, including in the form of grants of over $1 billion per year and in the form of direct government-to-government sales of military equipment, which Egypt typically paid for with foreign military financing and which the executive branch was required to notify Congress about under certain circumstances prior to going forward with those sales. Yeah, this is bad. Sorry, I have to pause for a tea break, everybody. One moment, please. This is a lot worse than I had suspected. Yeah, it's a lot worse. All right. The U.S. Department of State played a central role in reviewing and approving foreign military sales to Egypt and obligating foreign military financing to Egypt, which was conditioned on certain certifications being made by the State Department. As a matter of long-standing voluntary practice, the State Department would typically honor so-called holds placed by the chairman or the ranking member of the SFRC on both foreign military financing and foreign military sales. In other words, the State Department would typically not proceed with a transfer of foreign military financing grant money to Egypt's bank account located at all relevant times in Manhattan, or with a foreign military sale to Egypt while the chairman or ranking member of the SFRC had not signed off on and was maintaining a hold on such a transfer or sale. As a result, at all times relevant to the indictment, Robert Menendez, as the chairman or ranking member of the SFRC, possessed substantial influence over foreign military sales and foreign military financing in Egypt. For at least several years prior to 2018, despite its strategically important relationship with the U.S. and in the Middle East, Egypt had often faced resistance in obtaining foreign military financing and foreign military sales. For example, in or about August of 2017, the State Department announced that it was withholding $195 million in foreign military financing until Egypt could demonstrate improvements on human rights and democracy, and was canceling an additional $65.7 million in foreign military financing to Egypt. By in or about early 2018, multiple U.S. senators had raised human rights or rule of law objections to foreign military financing to Egypt, and no foreign military sales or offensive military equipment to Egypt requiring congressional notification had been concluded since in or about March of 2016. Hana and Nadine introduced Egyptian officials to Menendez for corrupt purposes. In or about 2018, shortly after Robert and Nadine began dating, Hana and Nadine arranged a series of meetings and dinners with Menendez, paid for by Hana or his associates, at which at which Egyptian officials raised, among other things, requests related to foreign military sales and foreign military financing. In exchange for Menendez and Nadine's promise that Menendez would, among other things, use his power and authority to facilitate such sales and financing to Egypt, Hanna promised, among other things, to put Nadine on the payroll of his company in a low or no-show job. Yikes. Yeah, it's a lot, Sheila. It's a lot. For example, Sub A, in or about March of 2018, Menendez met with the Egyptian military official and other Egyptian military officials at a meeting arranged and attended by his then girlfriend, Nadine, and her friend, Hanna. Menendez allowed Nadine and Hanna to arrange and participate in this meeting, which took place in Menendez's Senate office in Washington, D.C., and included discussions of foreign military finances to Egypt, among other topics. A photograph taken during the meeting is depicted below. Why would you take a photo? That doesn't seem right, but I guess they didn't think they were doing anything wrong. So we have these guys here, so that must be Nadine. Here's I think this one's the senator, and then this one is Hanna. And then we have blocked out faces of Egyptian military people. Yikes! Yikes! That's not looking good. Menendez and Nadine again met with Hanna on or about May 6th of 2018. Later that same day, Menendez sought from the State Department non-public information regarding the number and nationality of persons serving at the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, Egypt. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. All right. Although this information was not classified, it was deemed highly sensitive because it could pose significant operational security concerns if disclosed to a foreign government or if made public. Without telling his professional staff, SFRC staff, or the State Department that he was doing so, on or about May 7th of 2018, Menendez texted that sensitive non-public embassy information to his then-girlfriend, Nadine. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That's not good. Writing, just FYI, a number, Americans, combination of diplomats, commercial service, you said other, a number, Egyptians, locally employed staff. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This isn't looking good. This is what an American's embassy, and then summary of ratio, are Egyptians working at the embassy. Nadine forwarded this message to Hanna, who forwarded it to an Egyptian government official. Yikes. That same month, in or about May 2018, Hanna hosted another dinner at a high-end restaurant with Menendez, during which Menendez disclosed to Hanna non-public information about the United States' provision of military aid to Egypt. Shortly after the dinner, Hanna texted Egyptian official 1, "The ban on small arms and ammunition to Egypt has been lifted. That means sales can begin. That will include sniper rifles, among other articles." Oh my gosh, are they dealing in arms? Is this arms dealing? What? Whoa. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Later that month, in or about May of 2018, Nadine conveyed to Menendez a request from an Egyptian official seeking assistance in editing and drafting a letter lobbying other U.S. senators to support U.S. aid to Egypt. Nadine explained that she wanted Menendez to prepare the letter because Hanna and an Egyptian official whom she referred to as the general in her communications with Menendez had gotten Nadine clearance for a project. Whoa. In response, Menendez secretly edited and ghost wrote the requested letter on behalf of Egypt, seeking to convince other U.S. senators to release a hold of $300 million in aid to Egypt. Menendez sent his ghost-written letter to Nadine from his personal email account. Nadine forwarded the ghost-written letter to Hanna, facilitating Hanna's conveyance of the revised draft back to Egyptian officials. Both Menendez and Nadine deleted the email in which Nadine asked Menendez to write this letter. In or about July of 2018, Menendez met again with Egyptian official 1 and multiple other Egyptian military officials to discuss foreign military financing and foreign military sales during a meeting that was arranged, scheduled, and attended by Nadine and Hannah. Yikes. In advance of the meeting, the Egyptian government, through Hannah and Nadine, provided to Menendez briefing materials advocating Egyptian foreign policy goals and positions in setting forth Egypt's request for the approval of foreign military financing and foreign military sales to Egypt. The next day, Menendez texted Nadine, "Tell Will, Hannah, I'm going to sign off this sale to Egypt today. Egypt 46,120 target practice rounds and 10,000 rounds tank ammunition, $99 million. Note, these tank rounds are for the tanks they have had for many years. They are using these in the Sinai for the counterterrorism campaign." What? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What? Millimeter, thank you. Nadine forwarded this text to Hannah, who forwarded it to Egyptian official 1 and Egyptian official 2. Egyptian official 1 replied with a thumbs up emoji. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Whoa. On or about May 21st of 2019, Menendez and Nadine and Hannah, the defendants, met with an Egyptian intelligence officer or official, Egyptian official 3, at Menendez's Senate office in Washington, D.C. During this meeting, the group discussed a human rights matter pertaining to the resolution of a claim involving the serious injuries suffered by an American citizen who was injured in a 2015 airstrike by the Egyptian military using U.S.-manufactured Apache helicopter. Yikes. The incident leading to the citizen's injuries and the perception of certain members of Congress that the government of Egypt was not willing to provide fair compensation to the injured citizen for the attack resulted in objections by some members of Congress to awarding of certain military aid to Egypt. Shortly after the meeting with Egyptian official 3, Menendez conducted a web search for the name of the American citizen and visited a website that contained an article about the citizen's claim. Approximately a week later, using an encrypted messaging application, Egyptian official 3 texted Hannah in Arabic regarding this human rights matter, writing in part that if Menendez helped resolve the matter, he will sit very comfortably, to which Hannah replied, "Orders, consider it done." Egyptian official 3 then texted Hannah screenshots of a statement from the American citizen's attorney pertaining to the claim, which Hannah then forwarded a few days later to Nadine, who in turn forwarded it to Menendez. Nadine subsequently deleted her text messages with Hannah about this matter. Yikes. My goodness. Are we in a Bond movie? What's happening here? Menendez takes action to protect Hala. What is this? ISEG halal. Hannah fails to deliver on promised bribe payments. Uh-oh. Things are getting bad. Hannah repeatedly promised Nadine payments, including through a low or no-show job from ISEG Halal Certified, a New Jersey company that Hannah operated with financial support and backing from Fred Davis, the defendant, in furtherance of the scheme. However, the company had little to no revenue between in or about 2018 and in or about 2019, and Hannah did not deliver on his promise to make those payments during this time period. After several months of non-payment following the initial March 2018 meeting described in paragraph 19, Nadine, the defendant, complained to multiple associates of Hannah that the defendant about Hannah's failure to pay her, and caused at least one of them to believe that Menendez, the defendant, would cease acting for Hannah's benefit and at his request, including with respect to Egypt, unless Hannah came through on his promises and paid her. Nadine also complained directly to Menendez about Hana's as yet unfulfilled promises, writing, "I have been so upset all morning. Will left for Egypt today." Goodness gracious, supposedly, and now thinks he's king of the world and has both countries wrapped around his pinky. I really hope they replace him. My goodness. Hana obtains a lucrative monopoly for ISEG halal. In or about the spring of 2019, the government of Egypt granted ISEG halal an exclusive monopoly on the certification of U.S. food exports to Egypt as compliant with halal standards. Despite the fact that neither Hana nor his company had experiences with halal certification. Prior to this action, a number of other U.S. companies had been licensed to certify U.S. meat exports to Egypt for halal compliance for years. The monopoly for ISEG halal allowed Hana to provide payments to Nadine and Robert Menendez, the defendants. Indeed, on or about April 7th of 2019, an Egyptian government official informed Hana that ISEG halal was likely to become Egypt's sole halal certifier for imports from the U.S. market. The next day, Nadine texted Menendez, "Seems like halal went through. It might be fantastic 2019 all the way around." My goodness. Nadine forms an LLC to receive bribe payments. All right, well, that seems like responsible, right? You form an LLC in order to get bribe payments. I have the only light on in the corner, so I've got a little gnat that was interested in that. A company authorized by the government of Egypt to certify transports. Oh, interesting. Okay, oh my goodness. Okay. Here we go, everybody. This is getting, this is not sounding good. This isn't sounding good for anybody here. Right, halal's like kosher. That's what I thought. I thought it was some kind of a standard for consumption is what I was assuming. All right, in or about June of 2019, as ISEG halal obtained its monopoly, Nadine formed an entity titled Strategic International Business Consultants, LLC, in New Jersey with the assistance of Robert Menendez. The company was used to receive bribe payments in furtherance of the crimes charged herein. When sending a relative information about the formation of her company, Nadine stated by text message, "Every time I'm in a middle person for a deal, I'm asking to get paid, and this is my consulting company." Wow. Okay. It's good she could document that. Menendez intervenes to protect the lucrative monopoly. The ISEG halal monopoly advanced the scheme by, among other things, providing a revenue stream from which Hana could make good on the bribe payments he had promised to Robert. Through Nadine, the monopoly also resulted in increased costs for various U.S. meat suppliers and others. As a result, in or about April and May of 2019, multiple U.S. government officials from the U.S. Department of Agriculture contacted the government of Egypt objecting to and seeking reconsideration of its grant of monopoly rights to ISEG halal, and the USDA prepared a public report regarding the increased cost for halal certification and the likely disruption to the U.S. market caused by the new monopoly. During the May 21st of 2019 meeting described in paragraph 21 above, Robert, Nadine, and Hana and Egyptian official 3, Hana also requested Menendez's assistance to counter the USDA's objections to ISEG halal's monopoly. Later that evening, the same participants, along with the Egyptian-American associate of Hana, met at a steakhouse in Washington, D.C. for dinner, during which dinner there was discussion of various matters of foreign policy, and Nadine stated, "What else can the love of my life do for you?" What? This dinner's depicted below. What? Oh my gosh, don't say stuff like that. That's incriminating. And apparently, here's a picture because everything has to be photographed and written down so that we have enough evidence of everything that's happening. Oh my goodness. Saying that the restaurant's not halal. Well, it's a good question, actually. Valid question. Oh my goodness. All right. So here we go. We've got the senator. We've got Mr. Hana. We've got Nadine, and then Egyptian official 3, and then another Egyptian official over here. Oh my gosh. Over the next 2 days, on or about May 22nd and May 23rd of 2019, Hana provided Nadine with a variety of materials regarding the USDA's objections to the ISEG halal's monopoly, some of which Hana received from an Egyptian official. Nadine then texted certain of those materials to Robert. If you're going to crime, don't record the criming. I know. It seems so... all right. The defendant, who later deleted them. On or about May 23rd, Menendez called a high-level USDA official and insisted in sum and substance that the USDA stop opposing ISEG halal's status as sole halal certifier. When official 1 attempted to explain why the monopoly was detrimental to U.S. interests, Menendez reiterated his demand in sum and substance that the USDA stop interfering with ISEG halal's monopoly. Official 1 did not accede to Menendez's demand, but ISEG halal nevertheless kept its monopoly. Yikes. ISEG halal is used to fund bribe payments. After financially benefiting from halal's monopoly status as the sole halal certifier, Hana, at times with the assistance of Fred and Jose, provided payments in furtherance of the scheme. For example, in or about July of 2019, after the mortgage company for the residence of Nadine initiated foreclosure proceedings. What? They're foreclosing? Where's all of the money? What's happening? We're getting foreclosed on. All right. Hana caused Halal to pay approximately $23,000 to bring Nadine's mortgage current. Hana made this payment following a series of discussions with Nadine, as well as Jose and Fred, the defendants, about various options for bringing the mortgage current. When at one point, Jose responded to Nadine that Hana might balk at the amount required to bring the mortgage current. Nadine replied in part, "When I feel comfortable and plan the trip to Egypt, he will be more powerful than the president of Egypt." Oh my goodness. Thereafter, Jose and Fred, wait, hold on. Let me make sure I get the names right. Sorry, no Fred. Jose only and Hana worked to facilitate the payments, and Robert Menendez continued taking actions to assist Hana and Egypt, including those discussed below. All this money and you can't pay mortgages. I know, that's what I was saying. I know, that's a lot. A few months later, in or about September 2019, Nadine texted Fred complaining that Hana had not paid her what he owes her. Davies replied to Nadine, "Nadine, I personally gave Bob a check for September." Several days later, Nadine texted Bob to complain that Hana and Fred had not made payments, writing, "I'm so multiple O's upset," stating that Hana had not left her an envelope and remarking, "I thought Fred would make sure it's there, and the second day in a row, there's nothing." Nadine also wrote, "I thought after everything that happened, especially last Saturday and that week," referring to meetings Menendez had with senior Egyptian officials, "that at least he would honor his word one time. I don't know if I should text Fred or wait. What should I do?" Menendez responded, "No, you should not text or email." Finally, one sentence that makes sense. Good job. Soon thereafter, Nadine called Davies, or also known as Fred, ISEG Halal issued a $10,000 check to Strategic International Business Consultants the next day, on or about September 28th of 2019. In total, Halal issued three $10,000 checks to Strategic International Business Consultants, dated August 30th, September 28th, and November 5th of 2019, which Davies helped provide or facilitate. Dang, that's a lot of money. My goodness. Yikes. So 30 grand over a few weeks period. So August 30th, September 28th, and November 5th. Hanna and Davies continue to seek action from Menendez for Egypt. During the same period, when ISEG Halal issued these checks, on or about September 9th, Egyptian official 3 texted Hanna that a State Department employee told an Egyptian diplomat official today that Senator Menendez put a hold on $1 billion of aid to Egypt before U.S. aid to Egypt before the recess. And is this true? Hanna responded to Egyptian official 3 that Hanna would ask. Hanna then attempted to contact Nadine. Several minutes later, Hanna called Fred via an encrypted messaging program and forwarded Egyptian official 3's text message to Fred. Fred promptly called Robert, and then Fred called Hanna back via the same encrypted messaging program. Less than 2 minutes later, Hanna texted Egyptian official 3, writing that it was not true and that he, Menendez, did not know anything about the hold on U.S. aid to Egypt. Also, in or about September of 2019, Menendez offered to provide his assistance to Egypt, as well as Hanna. Oh, my goodness. During an official trip to India, following a dinner among Hanna, Menendez, and Nadine, Hanna texted Egyptian official 3, our man Menendez is traveling to India after 2 weeks, and he is asking if there is any message we need or anything for ISEG. Later that same month, Menendez, Hanna, and Fred met in Manhattan with Egyptian official number 3. Okay, time for tea, everyone. One moment. Oh my goodness. Okay, is it just me or is this absolutely ridiculous? Yeah, insanity. That's what I'm saying. This is, we have plenty of tea. This is ridiculous, everybody. I didn't realize how bad it was. I really didn't. So this is good to be knowledgeable about what's going on. Yeah, definitely insanity. I know. Oh my goodness. All right. The meetings between Menendez and Nadine and Egyptian officials and the receipt of things of value by Menendez and Nadine in exchange for Menendez's promises to take actions favorable to Egypt and Hanna and others continued through 2020 and 2022. It's a lot of halal bologna sandwiches. Yeah, heck yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. For example, in or about March of 2020, Nadine texted Egyptian official 3, anytime you need anything, you have my number and we will make everything happen. A few days later, she arranged for Menendez to meet with Egyptian official 3, whom Nadine referred to as the general, regarding negotiations between Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan over a dam on the Nile River. What? That seems like not her business, but okay. A dam on the Nile River being built by Ethiopia, known as the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which was generally regarded as one of the most important foreign policy issues for Egypt. Within 1 month, in or about April of 2020, Menendez wrote a letter to then Secretary of the Treasury and then Secretary of State regarding the dam. Beginning the letter, I'm writing to express my concern about the stalled negotiations between Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan over the dam, and stating, I therefore urge you to significantly increase the State Department's engagement on negotiations surrounding the dam. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. In or about October of 2020, Menendez and Nadine met for dinner with Egyptian official 3 and another Egyptian official, number 4, at a restaurant in Edgewater, New Jersey. After this dinner, Nadine and Egyptian official, who do we think it'll be? Number 4? Yes, number 4. There it is. Began texting with each other on an ongoing basis and had additional in-person meetings, including a dinner they had in or about December of 2020 with Menendez and Egyptian official 3. In or about early 2021, Hannah used ISEG halal funds to cause 2 exercise machines and an air purifier, among other items, collectively worth thousands of dollars, to be purchased online and delivered to the house of Menendez and Nadine. Because you need to be in shape in order to crime properly, everybody. All right? We're learning, okay? We have to have... Oh my gosh. We have to exercise so we can be strong for criming. Oh my goodness. On or about June 21st of 2021, Nadine and Egyptian official 4 organized a private meeting between Menendez and a senior Egyptian intelligence official in a hotel in Washington, D.C., prior to a meeting between Egyptian official 5 and other U.S. senators the next day. On the day of the private meeting, Menendez provided Nadine with a copy of a news article reporting on questions that other U.S. senators intended to ask Egyptian official 5 regarding a human rights issue. Oh my gosh. Nadine then sent that article to Egyptian official 4, who responded, "Thanks you so much, Chairman." Yikes. And also raised it today. We appreciate it. The next day, Nadine texted Egyptian official 4 that she hoped the article she had sent was helpful and stated, "I just thought it would be better to know ahead of time what's being talked about, and this way you can prepare your rebuttals." Oh my gosh. Purify their BS. Who wrote that? Who just wrote that? School chief. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry. That was funny. On or about June 23rd, 2 days after the private meeting between Menendez and Egyptian official 5, Anna purchased 22 1-ounce gold bars, each with a unique serial number. 2 of these 1-ounce gold bars were subsequently found during the court-authorized search in June of 2022 at the residence of Menendez and Nadine. During the relevant time periods, the spot market price of gold was approximately $1,800 per ounce. All right, here we go. We're getting into the gold bars now, everybody. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. This is just ridiculous. In or about the fall of 2021, Nadine communicated directly with the Egyptian official 4 to arrange a trip for Menendez and Nadine to Egypt, which they took in or about October of 2021. Nadine and Egyptian official 4 originally planned the trip as an unofficial visit. I'm pausing here for a moment. Wait a minute, October of 2021, weren't we all still locked down during that period of time? And these guys were just flying off to Egypt? I'm just putting that out there. Sense of bitterness right there. Okay. And therefore, without the supervision of the State Department, when an SFRC staffer contacted the U.S. Embassy in Cairo regarding the trip, causing the planned trip to become a formal congressional delegation under the supervision of the State Department, Egyptian official 4 texted Nadine, "I will probably lose my job and SOS." Nadine forwarded this text to Menendez. Hannah was also in Egypt during Menendez and Nadine's trip, and they met for at least one dinner while there. During the trip, Menendez and Nadine also met with multiple Egyptian officials, including for a private dinner at the home of Egyptian official 5, a photo of which is below. So here are these 2, and here are these 2. Oh my goodness. In or about January of 2022, Menendez and Nadine sent Nadine a link to a news article reporting on 2 pending foreign military sales to Egypt totaling approximately $2.5 billion. Nadine forwarded this link to Hannah, writing, "Bob had to sign off on this." In exchange for the promises and acts set forth above, Hannah and Fred, the defendants, provided multiple things of value to Robert and Nadine, including, with the assistance of Jose, those things of value included hundreds of thousands of dollars in checks, cash, and gold, some of which was recovered during the June 2022 court-authorized search of the residence of Menendez and Nadine described above. Nadine caused some of the gold to be sold in Manhattan prior to the search and deposited the proceeds into bank accounts she controlled. Okay, so there was at least that. I was wondering how that gold was getting moved. Menendez agrees to disrupt New Jersey state criminal matters in exchange for a Mercedes-Benz convertible. What? Hold on. What? State criminal matters in exchange for a Mercedes. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. In or about 2019, Hannah and Jose offered and then helped to buy a new Mercedes-Benz C300 convertible worth more than $60,000 for Nadine and Robert Menendez. In exchange, Menendez agreed and sought to interfere in a New Jersey state criminal prosecution of an associate of Uribe, the New Jersey defendant, and a state criminal investigation involving an employee of Uribe's, whom Uribe referred to as a relative in communicating with Nadine. Specifically, Menendez contacted a senior state prosecutor. Oh dear, that's not good. That's a no-no. In the office of the New Jersey Attorney General, who supervised the prosecution of the New Jersey defendant and the investigation involving the New Jersey investigative subject, Official 2, in an attempt through advice and pressure to cause Official 2 to resolve these matters favorably to the New Jersey defendant and the New Jersey investigative subject. Official 2 considered Menendez's actions inappropriate and did not agree to intervene. Oh my goodness. Menendez agrees to disrupt the prosecution of the New Jersey defendant. The first matter that Menendez agreed to attempt to influence concerned the New Jersey defendant. The New Jersey defendant was an associate of Jose, the defendant, and was charged with insurance fraud relating to a trucking company, the insurance of which was brokered by a company controlled by Jose. The New Jersey investigative subject, an employee of Jose who worked at the insurance company and whom he referred to as a relative, allegedly was involved in submitting the insurance applications at issue in the New Jersey defendant's criminal case. Jose was implicated in the conduct with which the New Jersey defendant was charged, and Jose raised concerns about the case to Hannah. Among others, writing in or about April of 2018 about the case, that the deal is to kill and stop all investigation. Nadine was involved in a car accident in or about December of 2018 that left her without a car. On multiple occasions, up to and including in or about January of 2019, Nadine sent a text message to Hannah about her lack of a car. Oh my goodness. Beginning in or about January of 2019, Menendez and Nadine and Hannah and Jose agreed that Menendez would attempt to intervene with Official 2 to influence the prosecution of the New Jersey defendant in exchange for a car. For example, on or about January 26th of 2019, Nadine invited Hannah and Jose to dinner with her and Menendez. Menendez, Nadine, and Hannah had the dinner on or about January 27th without Jose, who could not attend because of a scheduling conflict. After the dinner, Hannah sent Nadine a series of text messages providing facts about the prosecution of the New Jersey defendant. Nadine subsequently deleted these text messages. On or about January 29th of 2019, 2 days after the dinner described in paragraph 42 above, Menendez called Official 2 and spoke with him in an attempt through advice and pressure to cause a resolution of the prosecution in the New Jersey defendant's favor. In preparation for this call, Menendez requested and received multiple text messages from Nadine about the New Jersey defendant, including the charges he was facing, which Nadine in turn requested and received from Hannah. Menendez and Nadine both subsequently deleted these text messages. Wow, somebody did a really good job with the e-discovery here. After being contacted by Menendez to avoid any potential inappropriate influence in the case, Official 2 did not share with the prosecution team that Menendez had contacted him about the matter and did not intervene in the matter. Nonetheless, in or about April of 2019, the New Jersey defendant resolved his criminal prosecution with a guilty plea pursuant to a plea agreement that recommended a non-incarceratory sentence. This resolution was more favorable for the New Jersey defendant than the prosecutor's initial plea offer earlier in the case. Jose provides Nadine with a luxury car. After Menendez agreed to and did call Official 2 about the New Jersey defendant's case in or about January of 2019, Hannah and Jose worked to provide Nadine with a Mercedes-Benz convertible. As Hannah had previously promised, only a few days after Menendez's first call to Official 2 on or about February 3rd, Nadine texted Hannah, "All is great. I'm so excited to get a car next week." After some delays, Jose ultimately facilitated Nadine's purchase of the car through the following events, among others. Yay, a new car! Yeah, oh my gosh. On or about March 12th of 2019, Nadine called Jose and spoke with him for over 21 minutes. After the call, Jose texted Nadine, "I am real. I will stand by my word." On or about March 27th of 2019, Jose texted Nadine the information for a Mercedes-Benz dealership in Edison, New Jersey. Over the next several days, Jose worked to put Nadine in touch with a salesman at the car dealership. Once at the dealership, Nadine sent Menendez photos of 2 different cars to seek his input on the color scheme. Wow. On or about April 3rd of 2019, Menendez, Nadine, texted a Mercedes-Benz car dealership salesperson that Jose said she would be going to the dealership on April 5th to pick up the car. Later that day, Jose texted an associate a message, roughly translated from Spanish, as "I did everything on this side. I need $15K cash this afternoon." Later that day, Nadine texted Jose, "You are a miracle worker who makes dreams come true. I will always remember that." Wow. On or about April 4th of 2019, Nadine left Menendez a voicemail saying she was going to meet Jose for 5 minutes and then met Jose in the parking lot of a restaurant where Jose provided Nadine with approximately $15,000 in cash. Give me my crime money. You know, I had the best chat ever. Oh my gosh, seriously. Oh my gosh. All right. The next day, Nadine purchased the Mercedes-Benz convertible, making a $15,000 down payment with a combination of cash, a credit card, and several checks, and taking out an automotive loan to finance the remainder of approximately $60,000 purchase price. Now, hold on a minute. Do you think the sales associate would be questioning that? I'm just curious. I mean, maybe I don't crime enough, but if I was selling a car and they used cash, credit cards, multiple checks, and a loan, wouldn't that be a little suspicious? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's me. Nope. A sale is a sale. A sale is a sale. Okay, fair enough, everybody. I gotta work on my criming. It seems like it would be suspicious to me. Or gold bars. Yeah. Okay. Nope. A sale is a sale. Gosh. Oh, all right. Sorry. I was just curious. All right. Just me then. A number of the statements Nadine made on the application in order to secure the loan financing were false. Oh no, not false information on loan financing paperwork. We can't have that. Oh my goodness. including statements about her employment and income. After the purchase was complete, Nadine messaged Menendez, "Congratulations, mon amour de la vie." I don't think that's correct. "We are the proud owners of a 2019 Mercedes." Later that day, after Jose asked her, "Are you happy?" Nadine responded, "I will never forget this." Nadine later texted Menendez a photo of the Mercedes-Benz convertible, which is below. Okay, there it is. Nice car. After initially providing cash to Nadine to purchase the Mercedes-Benz, Jose subsequently caused monthly financing payments to be paid for the car, which were routed either through one of his business associates or through a company he controlled. In order to make the initial payments in or about early of May 2019, Jose asked a business associate of his to make the payment for the Mercedes Benz from the Associate 2's corporate bank account, which had previously been opened at a bank branch in the Bronx. Jose explained to Associate 2 in making this request that he did not want his own name to be associated with the payment. Jose and Associate 2 manually made each periodic payment from in or about May of 2019 through in or about October of 2019, either from Associate 2's bank account or from an account owned by a trucking company nominally owned by a relative of Jose. Menendez agrees to disrupt the New Jersey investigation. All right, tea break, everybody. This is totally unbelievable. I know. It really is. Oh, my gosh. All right, here we go. Back into this mess. My goodness. In or about July 2019, a New Jersey detective sought to interview the New Jersey investigative subject in a criminal investigation related to the prosecution of the New Jersey defendant. Following that interview request, Menendez and Nadine and Jose, the defendants, agreed that Menendez would attempt to intervene with Official 2 again. For example, after learning of this interview request, Jose contacted Nadine and met with her on or about the evening of July 31st of 2019. The next morning, Jose and Nadine sent Nadine a series of texts saying he did not want anyone to bother the New Jersey investigative subject, who, as discussed above in paragraph 40, was an insurance broker at the insurance company he controlled, and also saying that we need to make things go away. We need to move fast, and we can still stop this. That day, Nadine wrote to Jose, among other things, that she would address it first thing tomorrow morning or tonight, depending on when he, Menendez, is home, and adding, "He will be home first thing tomorrow. I will address it first thing tomorrow and have the phone calls go out." Later that day, Menendez performed a Google search for the initials of the state agency employing the insurance fraud investigator who was seeking to interview the New Jersey investigative subject. A few days later, Nadine texted Jose that Menendez had commented about Jose's 2 requests related to these criminal matters, that it would have been so easy if we had wrapped both requests together. On or about September 3rd of 2019, Jose, who at this point had been making the periodic payments for their Mercedes for several months, texted Nadine, "Please don't forget about me. I will never forget about you, and I need peace." The next day, on or about September 4th, Menendez called Official 2 to schedule an in-person meeting with Official 2 for September 6th at Menendez's Senate office in Newark, New Jersey. The day after the call, September 5th, Jose and Nadine met at Nadine's house. On or about September 6th, Menendez met with Official 2 and another senior official at the office of the New Jersey Attorney General at Menendez's Senate office in Newark, New Jersey, in an attempt, through advice and pressure, to cause Official 2 to favorably resolve the investigation involving the New Jersey investigative subject. After the meeting, Menendez met with Jose at Menendez's apartment. Jose thereafter texted another business associate of his, Associate 3, that the meeting between Menendez and Official 2 had been a good meeting, and that while nothing was final, to Jose's understanding, Menendez had informed Jose that the meeting with Official 2 was very positive. Over the next several weeks following the September 6th meeting between Menendez and Official 2, Jose repeatedly texted Nadine asking for updates and stated that he needed peace. On or about October 29th, the day after Jose texted Nadine, "I'll always text you on Monday in case you have an update. I just need peace," Menendez called Jose from his Senate office in Washington, D.C. Within minutes of getting off the phone, Jose texted Nadine, writing, "I just got a call and I'm a very happy person, and God bless you and him forever." Several nights later, Menendez, Nadine, and Jose and Associate 3 met for a celebratory dinner and toasted with a bottle of champagne as depicted below. They took a picture of the celebratory dinner. What are you people doing? Oh my goodness. What is this? And they took a picture. What? This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Cheers to us. Woohoo. I'm just like, what are you people doing? On or about November 5th, several days after receiving the call from Menendez and meeting for the celebratory champagne dinner, Jose texted Nadine asking for information that would allow him to set up automatic payments for the Mercedes-Benz. 2 minutes after saying he intended to set up automatic payments, Jose texted Nadine again, writing, "I have so much peace, gracias a Dios, and to you guys." Neither Official 2 nor the other senior official present at the September 6th meeting with Menendez, described in paragraph 44, intervened in the investigation involving the New Jersey investigative subject. That investigation closed without charges. Yikes. On or about November 9th of 2019, Jose set up automatic payments for the Mercedes-Benz. Jose caused a trucking company associated with him to make at least approximately 32 monthly payments on the Mercedes-Benz. Together with payments Jose caused Associate 2 to make for the Mercedes-Benz convertible, Jose caused more than $30,000 to be paid for the purchase of the car, not including the cash Jose had provided in a parking lot to Nadine to pay towards the down payments. In or about June of 2022, federal agents approached Robert Menendez, Nadine, and Jose, the defendants, and executed court-authorized search warrants. Trouble, everybody. On the Menendez's residence, among other places. After those approaches, Jose ceased making payments on the Mercedes-Benz, and later that year, Menendez wrote Nadine a check for $23,000, and Nadine wrote Jose a check for $21,000 with a memo line reading personal loan. Why would you write that in the memo? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh my gosh. Menendez promises and seeks to disrupt a federal criminal prosecution of Davies in exchange for cash, furniture, and gold bars. From at least in or about December 2020 to at least in or about early of 2022, Menendez agreed to attempted to influence the pending federal prosecution of Fred, the defendant, in exchange for cash, furniture, and gold bars that Fred provided to Menendez and Nadine, including by recommending that the president nominate a candidate for U.S. Attorney to the District of New Jersey who Menendez believed could be influenced by Menendez with respect to Fred's case, and by attempting to influence the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey to act favorably in Fred's case. Oh dear. In or about December of 2020, Menendez met with an individual who would later be nominated to be the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, referred to herein as candidate or official 3, the latter after official 3 Senate confirmation. At the time of the meeting, the candidate was an attorney in private practice, and the purpose of his meeting with Menendez was to consider a potential candidacy for U.S. Attorney in New Jersey. In that meeting, Menendez criticized the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey's prosecution of Fred, and said that he hoped the candidate would look into Fred's case if the candidate became the U.S. Attorney. Menendez did not mention any other case in the meeting. After the meeting, the candidate informed Menendez that he might have to recuse himself from the Fred prosecution as a result of a matter he handled in a private practice involving Fred. Menendez subsequently informed the candidate that Menendez would not put forward the candidate's name to the White House for a recommendation to be nominated by the president for the position of U.S. Attorney. Menendez also told the candidate that Menendez would be recommending a different individual for the position. Instead of the candidate, Menendez recommended a different individual for U.S. Attorney. Fred believed the different individual would likely be sympathetic to him. In or about the spring of 2021, a series of news reports critical of the other individual were published. During that time period, in or about the spring of 2021, an individual associated with Menendez spoke to the candidate and discussed, among other things, the possibility of the candidate recusing from the prosecution of Fred. Subsequently, the advisor informed Menendez that the advisor believed that the candidate would likely not have to recuse himself from the prosecution of Fred on or about May 2nd of 2021. In connection with Menendez's potential recommendation of the candidate, the advisor texted Menendez, "I think if you call the candidate, you'll be comfortable with what he says." Oh my gosh, this is terrible. On or about October 17th of 2021, Menendez and Nadine returned from Egypt and described in paragraph 37 landing at John F. K. International Airport. Upon their arrival, a driver for Fred, T-break, am I sounding a bit hoarse? Hold on, everybody. We're going to pause at Fred here. We're there at the airport. This is all public record. There's nothing wrong with it. It's all public. It's all right. We're at the airport. So the driver for Fred picked up Menendez and Nadine from the airport and drove them to their home in New Jersey. The next day, Menendez performed a web search for how much is 1 kilo of gold worth. Oh my goodness. As discussed herein, multiple gold bars provided by Fred were found during the court-authorized June 2022 search of Menendez and Nadine's residence. Following the events set forth in paragraph 49, Menendez recommended to the president of the United States of America, pausing for a moment, that the candidate be nominated for the position of U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey. And the candidate was nominated by the president, confirmed by the Senate, and sworn in as U.S. Attorney in or about December of 2021, hereafter Official 3. Shortly after the swearing in, on the basis of information that Official 3 provided to the U.S. Department of Justice to determine whether recusal was warranted, Official 3 was informed that Official 3 was recused from the prosecution of Fred, the defendant, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey implemented that recusal. After Official 3 became the U.S. Attorney, the following events took place, among others. Oh my gosh. On or about December 23rd, the trial of Fred, which had previously been scheduled for January of 2022, was adjourned for reasons related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Later that day, which is Egyptian, oh my goodness, Fred texted Nadine and asked how Menendez, who had recently sustained a shoulder injury, was doing. Nadine responded that Menendez was doing better, having heard the trial date was adjourned, and that Menendez was fixated on it. Fred responded, "Good. I don't want him to be upset over it. This is not his fault. He was amazing in all he did. He's an amazing friend, as loyal as they come. How's the shoulder? Is he sleeping? Let me know if I can get him a recliner to help me sleep." Fred thereafter provided a recliner to Menendez. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. On or about January 21st, Menendez called Official 3 and asked the identity of Official 3's first assistant U.S. attorney. Oh my gosh. As a result of Official 3's recusal, Official 4 had supervisory responsibility over the prosecution of Fred. On or about January 22nd of 2022, Menendez and Fred called Fred's lawyer to complain that the lawyer had not been aggressive enough in attempting to get Fred's case dismissed. My shoulder hurts from carrying gold bars. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh, on or about January 24th of 2022, Fred's driver exchanged 2 brief calls with Nadine. Nadine then texted Fred, writing, "Thank you, Christmas in January." Oh my gosh. Fred's driver's fingerprints were later found on an envelope containing thousands of dollars of cash recovered from the residence of Menendez and Nadine in New Jersey. This envelope also bore Fred's DNA and was marked with Fred's return address. So Fred's address is on it. Do we really even need the DNA? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. You know what I'm saying? In or about the early afternoon of January 24th of 2022, approximately 2 hours after Nadine had texted Fred, thanking him for writing Christmas in January, Menendez called Official 4 in a call lasting for approximately 15 seconds. This was Menendez's first phone call with Official 4 on or about January 29th of 2022, several days after Nadine had texted Fred, thanking him and writing Christmas in January. Menendez performed a Google search for kilo of gold price. On or about January 31st of 2022, Menendez again called Official 4 in a call lasting for approximately 1 minute and 24 seconds. Within minutes of the end of his call with Official 4, Menendez called Fred. Between approximately in or about December of 2021 and February of 2022, Menendez directed the advisor to ask Official 3, who was at the time the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, why he had to recuse himself from the prosecution of Fred, when Menendez had previously believed he would not recuse himself. The advisor declined to do so. That's smart. Later, in or about late March of 2022, the advisor informed Menendez that he was planning to have lunch with Official 3. Menendez told the advisor in sum and substance that he was frustrated with the way the U.S. Attorney's Office was handling the prosecution of Fred, and further told the advisor to tell Official 3 to give Fred's all due process, notwithstanding that, as Menendez knew, Official 3 was recused from the matter. The advisor had lunch with Official 3, but did not pass on the message from Menendez, which was wise. That was smart. On or about March 30th of 2022, Nadine met for lunch with Fred. Following lunch, Nadine texted Fred, "Thank you, Fred. Prayer hands, XO heart." The next day, Nadine met with a jeweler who was friends with Fred and Hannah, and texted with Fred about the fact that she was meeting the jeweler. At the meeting, Nadine provided the jeweler 2 1-kilogram gold bars to be sold. At that time, the spot market price for gold was $60,000 per kilogram. Nadine falsely told the jeweler in sum and substance that the gold came from her mother. A court-authorized search of Nadine's phone later found a photograph taken the day of Nadine's meeting with the jeweler of 2 1-kilogram gold bars marked with serial numbers indicating they had previously been possessed by Fred. A portion of this photograph is below. So here are the gold bars. Oh my goodness gracious. We're selling gold bars. Yep, we got the gold bars, everybody. All right. Official 3 and Official 4 did not pass on to the prosecution team the fact that Menendez had contacted them. Oh, monkey! Thank you so much. Contacted them as described in the above paragraphs, and they did not treat the case differently as a result of the above described contacts. In or about April of 2022, Fred pled guilty pursuant to a plea agreement that provided for a probationary sentence. That was smart. As noted above, in or about June of 2022, a court-authorized search of the residence of Menendez and Nadine revealed, among other things, approximately 2 1-kilogram gold bars and 9 1-ounce gold bars that had serial numbers indicating they had previously been possessed by Fred. The search also revealed that the residence contained, among other things, hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, including approximately 10 envelopes of cash with tens of thousands of dollars bearing the fingerprints and or DNA of Fred. One of those envelopes also bore, in addition to the fingerprints of Fred, the fingerprints of Menendez. At all times relevant to this indictment, Menendez, the defendant, was required as a U.S. Senator to file annual financial disclosure forms listing, among other things, income received by him or his spouse. Sorry, everybody. I've got to check on my battery here. One moment, please. Okay. Next part of the story, accepts diamonds. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, she's accepting diamonds next, everybody. Sorry about that. Had to just double check. Just a minute. I'll get back into it. Oh my gosh. All right. Here we go. Tea time. Now we'll get into the counts here in just a minute. So, one moment. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. So we have fingerprints. At all times relevant, again, Menendez, the defendant, was required as a U.S. Senator to file annual financial disclosure forms, listing, among other things, income received by him or his spouse in each calendar year. At all times relevant to the indictment, Menendez did not disclose, among other things, the receipt of payments towards a Mercedes-Benz for the benefit of him or of Nadine, or the receipt of any cash or gold bars by him or by Nadine in any relevant calendar year. They certainly are a girl's best friend. All right, let's get into the counts, everybody. So, first count, conspiracy to commit bribery as to all defendants. Now, keep in mind, we've got 5 defendants involved. The allegations contained in the paragraphs 1 through 55 are repeated, realigned, and incorporated, realleged and incorporated, fully set forth herein. So from at least in or about January of 2018 through at least in or about June of 2022 in New York, Menendez, Nadine, Hannah, Jose, and Fred, the defendants, and others known and unknown, willfully and knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together and with each other to commit bribery of a federal employee in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Sections 201B1A. I would say so. No paper trail? That's a good question. I don't understand why gold bars would be involved. I don't. But, my mind just doesn't work this way. So I don't know about that. It was part and an object of a conspiracy that Menendez and others known and unknown, being a public official directly and indirectly, would and did corruptly demand, seek, receive, accept, and agree to receive and accept something of value personally and for another person and entity in return for being influenced in the performance of an official act and for being induced to do an act and omit to do an act in violation of his official duty, violation of the U.S. Code. It was further a part and an object of the conspiracy that Nadine, Hannah, Jose, and Fred, and others known and unknown, directly and indirectly, would and did corruptively give, offer, promise something of value to a public official, and offer, promise a public official to give something of value to another person and entity with the intent to influence the official act and to induce such public official to do an act and omit to do an act in violation of a lawful duty, such official in violation of U.S. Code 201. Here are the overt acts. We're all familiar by now with the overt acts element. In furtherance of the conspiracy and to effect its illegal objects, the following overt acts, among other things, were committed and caused to be committed in New York. On or about June 30th, Menendez, Nadine, Hannah met at a restaurant in Manhattan. Again, these are acts showing the conspiracy. On or about May 3rd, Jose made payments from a corporate bank account that had been opened at a bank branch in the Bronx. On September 5th, Nadine sent Jose a text message transmitted through a cell phone. On or about September 21st, Menendez, Hannah, Fred, and an Egyptian official number 4 met at a restaurant in Manhattan. On or about March 31st, Nadine provided to the jeweler 2 1-kilogram gold bars that were provided by Fred, which gold bars were sold in Manhattan. So just to give you an idea, compared to the other indictments that I've gone over, you'll note that this is just bullet points of the facts. So if you think about the Georgia indictment or even the DC indictment of Trump, how detailed those indictments are, that's a bit unusual. This is much more typical of a typical indictment when you just have 1 or 2 sentences. You do not have the kinds of descriptions like what we see in the Georgia and DC indictments. Also in the Florida indictment as well. Those indictments are really, really detailed, but this is much more typical of a regular criminal indictment. All right, count 2, conspiracy to commit honest services frauds for all the defendants. So here they're saying, again, this is wire fraud. So let me skip down to the details of the wire fraud rather than just outlining the code section. How much trouble is the jeweler in? That I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think that it's illegal for them to take it. Like if they had reason to believe it was stolen, then there may be some issues, but by just taking it, I think they're okay. So, defendants and others known and unknown, having devised and intended to devise a scheme, an artifice to defraud and to deprive the public of its intangible right to Menendez's honest services as a U.S. Senator and the chairman of the ranking member of the SFRC, would and did transmit and cause to be transmitted by means of wire, radio, and television communication in interstate and foreign commerce, writing, signs, signals, pictures, and sounds for the purpose of executing such scheme and artifice in violation of U.S. Code Section 1343. So this is the actual transmission of different funds. So those checks that had been written out, those are all included here. Count 3, conspiracy to commit extortion under color of official right as Robert Menendez and Nadine. So just 2 defendants here. So we're setting out the law under this code section. Now, this is up to 20 years, this particular felony, from at the very least or about January of 2018 through at least or about June of 2022 in New York. Robert and Nadine and others known and unknown willfully and knowingly combined. You are the greatest to explain this as common thinking person. Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is a fascinating indictment. Fascinating. Absolutely bonkers. Willfully and knowingly combined, conspired, and confederated, agreed together, and with each other to commit extortion under the color of official right, as the term is defined under Title 18 of the U.S. Code, and thereby would and did obstruct, delay, and affect commerce and the movement of articles and commodities in commerce, as that term is defined under Section 1951. So again, this is up to 20 years. This had to do with the monies in Egypt. So that's frowned upon. They're going to make a movie about this. Oh my gosh, they'd have to. This is crazy. Count 4, conspiracy for a public official to act as a foreign agent. This is 3 of the defendants, so Robert, Nadine, and Hannah. So here are the overt acts. Again, this sets out what the law is, but let's go through the acts that they're referring to. So in furtherance of the conspiracy, these are the acts where they acted as a foreign agent. On or about June 30th, Menendez, Nadine, and Hannah met at a restaurant in Manhattan. On or about September 21st, Menendez, Hannah, and Egyptian official 4 met at a restaurant in Manhattan. So these 2 acts of meeting are showing that they conspired together to be foreign agents. These are Section 371 is up to 5 years. No, this is not a RICO charge because we don't have one grand purpose. The RICO case, that's such a great question, Sarah, because in a RICO case, we need one grand reason, one particular motive, one goal. And in here, we don't have one goal. We've just got multiple crimes. So that's what separates this out from being a RICO, because it's just an overall set of crimes rather than one particular end goal in mind. But great question. Okay, and then forfeiture allegations. So those are, before I get into the forfeiture allegations, so we've got count 4 here. So there's a total of 4 counts. 2 were for 5 years and 2 were for 20. And multiple crimes in a recliner. That's true. You think any of the defendants can get No, I do not. I don't know. I don't know what they would have to offer in exchange for a good plea deal, because they're all 4 getting dinged hard. So I really don't know. There's not a lot involved. So with count 4, those are our 4 counts. Now they're going to talk about the forfeiture allegations. So this is a separate part. Anytime you have any kind of profits or proceeds from criming, the government can take it. This is pled out in the indictment. So the forfeiture allegations, they're saying these guys all together committed all of these offenses, and all of these different proceeds now should be seized by the government. So we'll go through the different property. As a result of committing one or more of the offenses alleged in counts 1 and 2 of the indictment, Menendez, Nadine, Hannah, Jose, and Fred shall forfeit to the United States, pursuant to Title 18, any and all property, real and personal, that constitutes or is derived from proceeds traceable to the commission of said offenses, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of proceeds traceable to the commission of said offenses, and the following specific property. So this language is the same as what was in the DeSantis indictment as well, where they had said, we're actually going to take any of the proceeds that you got. So here's what they're listing out. The residence, oh dear. So the residence of Menendez and Nadine in New Jersey, the 2019 Mercedes-Benz, a sum of $486,461 in U.S. currency that was seized from the premises, a sum of $79,760 in U.S. currency seized from a safe deposit box, 2 1-kilogram gold bars seized from the premises, 11 1-ounce gold bars seized from the premises, any and all funds on deposit in an account with an account number ending in 8817, held in the name of Strategic International Business Consultants, LLC, at the bank. And let me just make sure I'm in frame here. This is so sad. One Vision Fitness suspension trainer found on the premises on June 16th. Can they make the Senate pay back his salary during the years of all his crimes committed? Unfortunately, no. That cannot be seized. That cannot be forfeited, unfortunately. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 3 of the indictment, Menendez and Nadine shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to the code any and all property, real, personal, that constitutes any kind of proceeds derived from the crimes. So what else do we have? We have, again, the premises, the Inglewood Cliffs premises, the Mercedes-Benz, the sum of $486,461, the sum of $79,760, the gold bars, the 2 1 kilograms, the 11 1 ounce, all the funds in her business that she set up, along with the fitness suspension trainer found on the premises. So all of those, again, are parts of count 3. So they're pleading them out separately just to make sure everything is done. To the right. Okay, hold on. We're on our last page here. Is this suspension trainer? I don't know. I have concerns. I think it's the fitness equipment, right? I think it's the... I have concerns. What about the air purifier? I know, great question. What will happen to the air purifier? I don't know. All right, substitute assets provision. If any of the property described above is being subject to forfeiture as a result of any act or omissions by Menendez and Nadine, Hannah, Jose, and Fred, the defendants, A, cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third person, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, has been substantially diminished in value, or has been commingled with other property which cannot be subdivided without difficulty. So, of course, they can say, if, let's just say, for example, that the gold bars have already been sold and that money's been given to a third party. They're saying, okay, you don't have the gold bars to give us, so all of the money, the proceeds you would have gotten from that, you need to give us. Even though you gave it to a third party, you need to give us the equivalent amount. So they're even going beyond, if they're saying if you don't have the property, you're going to need to give us the equivalent of it. So it is the intent of the United States pursuant to Title 21 of the United States Code and Title 28 to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendants up to and the value of the forfeited property described above, signed by the foreperson and the United States Attorney. So there we have it, everybody, the Menendez indictment. That is like a full-blown Bond movie situation. That's a lot. It's a lot, everybody. It's a lot. Let me just plop it down. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, these people, I know, VC. I know. That's crazy. That's crazy land. I did not realize the extent to it. Nail color the court identity. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. You all are on fire tonight. It seems like it would have some treason involved, right? I mean, the key to treason is a detriment to the country. So we would have to have a showing of that, what the detriment would be, by giving a benefit to Egypt as opposed to a benefit to Egypt at the detriment to the United States could potentially be seen as treason. So that could be pursued. Thanks for your explanations. Much appreciated. You're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. It's a fascinating case, everybody. And the levels of it are just, nominating people for the U.S. District Attorney position in New Jersey, involving the president, involving multiple criminal cases and intervening in those. I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot. There's a lot going on here. The arms dealing, yes, the arms dealing is definitely questionable here. What if they still make payments on the house? What happens to those payments? Well, Greg, they're trying to seize the house itself. So if they are continuing to make payments, whatever they put into the house, the government's going to seize that property. So if I was them, I would immediately stop making payments. I would stop making payments at this point. Can we discuss Michael Cohen in this case? Oh, he's gone. House. Like, Cohen's not involved in this case. He's got his own cases. Yeah, bye-bye House. Yeah, the House is an issue for sure. Do you think the Trump case has stirred up an interest in fighting corruption? I think so, absolutely. And I see this also looking at the history with Nixon as well. When everything went down with Nixon, a lot of people don't realize this, but it really kind of shook everybody up across the board. And so there were tons of new investigations popping up all the time because everybody was really, gun shy, so to speak. I mean, everyone had been so shocked by what happened with Nixon that there were some significant trust issues going on. So you see a whole barrage of cases that came out of that time period as a way to kind of address this, trust issue that we had after the Nixon situation. So I think absolutely Trump has kind of, lit a match to investigating things much more carefully at this point. He's convicted, what happens to his lifetime benefits? That's a great question, and I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I mean, he's looking at 2020 and 10, so 50 years. I don't know if it's running concurrently or not, but I'm not sure. I also would want to look at the rules in the Senate, because if you're convicted of a felony, there are certain things that come into place. I know a few things, but I'm not sure about the benefits themselves. They do have lots of rules, though, specifically if you are indicted. Lifetime benefits. I know, it's a lot. Who inherits the Secret Service detail? Do you mean for Trump? That I'm not sure about. I think the House was removing him. Yes. Well, do you mean Santos or do you mean Menendez? Because there's a lot of stuff going on with Menendez. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. The Secret Service situation, I think, is something that will just get worked out as time goes on. We'll be able to figure it out. I don't think that... a lot of accommodations get made all the time, depending on the situation. So, a lot. Now, Menendez is a senator, so I'm not sure. The House could do maybe a censure, of a senator. I don't know. Is that possible? Because he would need the Senate to come in order to pull him and say, you violated our rules. The Dems want him gone. Well, I don't doubt it. That makes sense. There's a lot of problems. Started for expelling. Okay. Yeah, it's really bad. Everybody. Greed. Yeah. I don't think there can be anything more clear than greed. We have photographs of gold bars and stacks of cash hidden in suits. It's a lot. It's really a lot. He needs to step down. Yeah. And I'm wondering too, though, if what kind of protection he thinks he would have by remaining in office. A lot of people feel that way. Like, if I keep my office, I am protected in some ways. So at least, they have to wait until a certain period of time, not recognizing that, the law doesn't work that way. It doesn't care what your job is. They're going to come for you one way or the other. Pence stepped out of the VP, yeah, I saw that. I saw Pence was finished with that, and I don't blame him. He was struggling. He never really gained much momentum, in my opinion. I don't watch politics closely, everybody, but I did note that he gets to keep the lazy boy. Well, yeah, but he doesn't have a house to put it in. I don't know if he can take it to jail with him, but maybe. Maybe. The president's immune while in office, though. Well, from some things, but not everything. The president's not totally and completely immune, and they're gone. Oh, my goodness. Oh, moderators, I'm so thankful for you. Can't take it to jail. True. Yeah, they don't like you to bring your own furniture to jail. Doesn't this remind you of Nixon's vice president? It does. Yeah, it does. There's a lot of similarities here. He can bring the recliner. I don't know. I'll have to check. I've not seen any of the jail TikToks. I haven't. I'll have to take a look. keep seeing them in Al Capone's cell. I don't know about that. Oh my gosh. I wonder what our allies think about elected leaders now with all these indictments. I think that they recognize that, we're imperfect too. Because I think this country's so young, we really are, like, hey, look, we're so great. But other countries have already been through all of this. They've already had their villains. They've already had their people who have done criminal situations and have gone through it because they have so much history. And it's our turn. So I think it's one of those moments where they're like, you know what? Yeah, you all are human too. You all are going to make some mistakes also. So I think, yeah, and they're recognizing me cleaning house. Exactly. And just like they did too. I mean, if you look like France, for example, or Germany, or if you look even at some of the history in the UK, even, you can see there have been a lot of problems. Every country has sets of problems, has all kinds of issues, and they take care of them. So it's just kind of our time. Yeah, it's our turn. It's our turn. Exactly. And it's, it's unfortunate, but it's also just part of governing. I think, that's one of the things that we deal with. Even, New Zealand is dealing with issues too. And Australia's got all kinds of issues going on at the moment, bless them. So, yeah, it's just kind of a process. Yeah, Clarence, I don't know what's going to happen with Clarence. There's some interesting things going down, especially with Ginny being involved. I'm wondering what's going to happen with this next batch of indictments that come down from Jack Smith. They're sealed at the moment, but once those get cracked open, I think we'll see some interesting things. Oh, there's Clarence. Clarence has joined us in the comments. The Supreme Court needs a good overhaul. Well, I think the Supreme Court is, needing to face the music here. Yeah, Ginny is really one of the biggest issues for sure. Yeah, Ginny is really a huge issue. Clarence has always been an issue, but Ginny's got too much power. Clarence Thomas has entered the chat. I know. So, but, we'll see. We'll see. I think, ethics rules need to be set into place. I think this idea that the Supreme Court is untouchable is no longer the case. And that's a huge reality check for the justices. And honestly, I think Justice Sotomayor, when she wrote her huge dissent in the Dobbs case, she said it out just perfectly when she said, you have all knocked the legitimacy of the U.S. Supreme Court out. So I think she recognized that, and I think her prediction is coming true. Yes. So I will be back at Told You So VC. Yes, I will be back on tomorrow, everybody. I'm planning to come back this week. I should be on at 7 o'clock each night, and I will be having some other pop-ups depending on which hearings and which things are being televised. Now, tomorrow in Colorado, we do have the argument starting for the 14th Amendment Section 3 issue. That's supposed to be televised in Colorado. So depending on what's going on, I may hop on for a little while and watch that with people. But we'll see what happens. Also Wednesday and Thursday or Tuesday. Thursday. My goodness. We also have the Minnesota case that's supposed to be televised as well. So we've got those going on. Plus, we've got a couple hearings going on in Georgia this week. Those are all televised first thing in the morning. So they're probably going to start at 9. So 9 Mountain Time. But I'm not sure if their courthouse is open at 8 or not. So it'd be 8 or 9. Gag order reinstated on DC. Yes, I'm going to have to pull that up too. And check the status of that because that was stayed temporarily until briefs were submitted. And I've heard that there have been some problems. So he may very well be that order could have been put back into place. Lives are always great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, yes. My moderator, so amazing. Always wonderful and amazing. So I will be back again tomorrow, everybody. High Court has term limits, age limits, non-political appointments. Ooh, we love that, Andrew. That's amazing. We love that. So I will be back again. I may be back during the day, depending on how the hearing goes in Colorado. But for sure, I will be back at 7 o'clock. I do have a few other cases that I'll be reading through, so I'll not only be doing Trump updates, but I did pull this case out of California. This is the case where we've got two Republicans who are suing because they were refused entry. So Gates and Taylor Greene were refused a particular place in California to come and have a big rally. So they sued. So I've got that case to go through. And then I also have a couple more things too. So I've got a couple of other cases out that I might go through as well. But we'll just see what time, the kind of time we have. I'll definitely be doing Trump updates and those case updates, but maybe adding in additional, if we've got time, going through some of those other cases as well. So it was gold. That's funny. Oh, it's so funny. So the courts are busy. They really are. They really are. So I will go ahead and sign off for tonight, everybody. Thank you again. Check your DMs. Yes. I will be back again tomorrow. Always good to see you all. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. I appreciate it. This was a wild ride tonight. I'm glad we could go through the ride together. I appreciate that and the support. So yes, Sue, thanks for coming. Yes, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I will be back again tomorrow, everyone. Good night, Gray. Good to see you. Good night. So have a fantastic night, everybody. And I will be back again tomorrow. Haven't watched TV since you've been doing this. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, we have fun. I think we have a good time. Yes, have a good night. Good night, Corey. Good night, Daisy. Good night, everybody. Always good to see you. So take care. We will see you tomorrow.